Hi guys, Mrs. Albert's here and welcome back to my channel. Let's begin. Now let's get some practice questions done for SPROEIREëN. Starting with number 1. Waarna verwys die titel in hierdie gedig? Jou titel van jou gedig is SPROEIREëN. Okay, so the title refers to the fine mist that comes out of the skin of a naartjie or a lemon or an orange when you press it between your fingers. It's also the thing that makes it smell so nice. Nommer 2 is die eerste 2 versreëls denotatiewe of konnotatiewe taalgebruik. Motiveer jou antwoord. Your first 2 lines of your poem, is it literal or figurative language use? Motivate your answer. So your first 2 lines, my nooi is in 'n nartjie, my ouma in kaneel. This is figurative language because your girlfriend cannot fit into a nartjie. That would be a very, very tiny person. So no, this is figurative language. It means that the smell of the naartjie is reminding the speaker of a person. The smell of cinnamon is reminding the person of his grandmother. So every smell is a memory to your speaker. Nommer 3, noem die vroue wat 'n belangrike rol in die spreker se lewe gespeel het. So the 3 people that played a very important role in the speaker's life. That's nooi, which is girlfriend, oma, which is a grandmother, and iemand anders, it's somebody else, he cannot remember who it is. Then number 4, daar is 'n vrou in elke geur. Verduidelik wat die spreker daarmee bedoel. There is a woman in every smell. Explain what the speaker means by this. So you'll know as well, if you think about your mother, your grandmother, or people close to you, you'll know that there's a specific smell that reminds you of them. Same to the speaker. So different smells reminds him of a different woman in his life. Number 5, watter reuk assosieer hy met sy nooi? Which smell does he associate with his girlfriend? His girlfriend, the smell of naartjie, the smell of a mandarin or a tangerine. You could be fancy if you like, but here in South Africa it's a nartjie, eh? So it's the naartjie that reminds him of his girlfriend. Then number 6, my oma is in kaneel. En watter 2 geregte dink jy het sy ouma kaneel gebruik? So his grandmother is in cinnamon. In which 2 dishes dishes did his oma, do you think, use kaneel, cinnamon? Well, I've got 3 here for you because those are the 3 that I associate with my grandmother. And here we have pannenkoek, which is pancake. It's the cinnamon sugar that she used to put on. Sauskleitjies, which is dumpling. It's almost like a dessert, dumpling dessert. And then pampoenkoekies, which is pumpkin fritters that has that nice cinnamon sauce on it. Nommer 7, verduidelik die ellipsteken of beletselteken in versreël 3. So your versreël 3, daar's iemand, ... iemand in anys. The ellipse is the 3 dots that you have at the end of sentences to show normally that there is a pause or gives you time to think. So in this case, it shows you that the speaker is trying to remember a woman, but he cannot remember her name or who she is. So it's that pause, that moment to think. Nommer 8, skryf die woordherhaling neer wat daarop dui dat die spreker nie seker is aan wie die geer hom laat dink nie. So the word repetition that shows you that he cannot remember which smell or which aniseed smell reminds him of which person, and that's iemand. And then you have your ellipse and then iemand again. Nommer 9, verduidelik die gebruik van die uitroepteken aan die einde van versreël 4 en 15. So line 4, daar's 'n vrou in elke geur. Line 15, daar's 'n vrou in elke geur. And then it's an exclamation mark. So you have to explain the use of the exclamation mark. It emphasizes that smells remind him of certain women. Nommer 10, haal 'n voorbeeld van elisie aan en gee die korrekte vorm van die woord. You have to quote an example of elisie. It's daar, which is daar is. Nommer 11, watter sintuig speel 'n groot rol in hierdie gedig? Which sense plays a major role in this poem? It is reuk, which is smell. 12, verduidelik volledig wat gebeur wanneer die spreker die skil van die naartjie knak. So here you have to explain completely what happens when he bends the skin of the naartjie between his fingers. So when he bends the naartjie between his fingers and the skin breaks or bends, there is a fine mist that comes out that has a rich smell. 13, verduidelik die gebruik van inversie in versreël 7. So when we look at versreël 7, it says breek uit die klein sproeiereën. And normally we would say die klein sproeiereën breek uit. So they've done it that way around. and you have to explain why or what is the function. The inversie, it emphasizes the spray that comes out and what he feels on his hand when he breaks the skin. So you'll see that SPROEIREEN is in the final position, the last position of that line, for emphasis sake. Nommer 14, haal een woord uit strofe 2 aan wat vir jou sê dat die reuk van die narkieskil aangenaam is. So you have to quote one word from stanza 2 that shows us that the smell of the naartjie is pleasant, and that word is geurend, which means a pleasant smell. Nommer 15, gee een woord vir 'n klomp bome wat in netjiese rye geplant is. One word for a bunch of trees that's planted nice and neat in a row, and that word is boorde, which means, I think it's orchards, no, yeah. 16, na watter rivier verwys die spreker as hy van die swart verloos praat? To which river is he referring when he speaks about swart verloos? He's talking about the swart Umfolozi River, the black Umfolozi River in KwaZulu-Natal. Number 17, noem die 3 sintuie waarmee die spreker die klein SPROEIREEN in strofe 2 ervaar. Name the 3 senses with which the speaker is experiencing the small fine mist in stanza 2. Well, first it says smell, because he can smell it. It's tas or gevoel, which means he can feel the mist landing on his hand, and sight, because he can see the mist landing on his hand. 18, 'n nartjie se geur laat die spreker aan sy meisie dink. Waaraan herinner hierdie geur die spreker nog volgens strofe 2? So the smell of a nartjie reminds the speaker of his girlfriend, but what else does it remind him of in stanza 2? The nartjie orchards, and how he experienced a woman's comfort back in the day. 19, hierdie gedig is 'n ballade en het 'n refrein, it's a ballad and it has a chorus. Nommer 19.1, wat is die doel van die refrein in die gedig? What is the function of the chorus in this poem? It is to emphasize how the different smells remind him of different women. It also emphasizes his longing to an old memory, as well as give this poem a specific rhythm. 19.2, wat word die refrein in die gedig hoe word die refrein in die gedig aangedui? How do they show you that this is the refrain? How do you see that it's the refrain? And that is inkeping. Remember, inkeping is that space you have from the number of your line to where your line starts. 19.3, verduidelik waarom 'n refrein jou aan 'n liedjie laat dink. So you have to explain why a chorus makes you think of a song. Because obviously it repeats, and songs have choruses that repeat, so it's singy and it's rich in sound, it has rhyme, it has rhythm, and it makes you think of songs. 19.4, waarop dui die o uitroep in versdeel 12, so there's a o exclamation in line 12. What does that make remind you of? So in line 12 we've got o my nooi is in 'n nartjie. It shows that he is in admiration of women. It emphasizes how he admires them and how he finds them to be, well, they all smell nice, they are all great, and they are all comforting, because that is obviously what this whole poem is about, it's putting women on a pedestal as you should. 20. Gee 'n voorbeeld van alliterasie uit die gedig, so you have to give an example of alliteration out of the poem. You can basically do any one. I just did the first one that was in the poem, so I've got my nooi is in 'n nartjie. Remember, when you do alliteration quotes, you have to underline the sound that is being alliterated. 21, verduidelik waarom ons kan sê dat hierdie gedig 'n vrye vers is. Explain why we can say that this poem is like a free rhyme, free verse. It's because there's no specific rhyme pattern in this poem. 22, dink jy die spreker voel positief of negatief oor die vrou in sy lewe? Does he feel positive or negative about the woman in his life? And motivate by looking at the poem. So now, this one is important. This is a dink jy, so you can answer in whichever way you want. But look at what it says. It says motivate by looking at the poem. So it's your own answer, but you have to look at the poem. And remember what I always say, if it's your own opinion, make sure it's a good Afrikaans sentence. Make sure that you actually answer the question. 23, watter geur herroep goeie herinneringe by jou en aan wie laat die geur jou dink? So this again is your own answer. Which smell makes you think of which person? It's very important if you don't have anybody that a smell reminds you of, just create something to be able to answer the question. If you say I don't have anybody or I don't know, you will not be awarded a mark for that type of question. And then just quick a shout out to my 12 Key 7s who is quietly sitting in class while I'm recording this. Yeah, you. Thank you. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you've got any questions, you can follow me on Instagram at Afrikaans Classroom. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos, like and share.